Now we are going to learn about the Gane's learning hierarchy. What is the learning hierarchy? A learning hierarchy for problem solving or rule learning is a structure containing a sequence of subordinate and prerequisite abilities which a student must master before he or she can learn the higher order task. So suppose the child you are going to teach the child in the higher order skills. So the student should know about the subordinate, that is prerequisite. Then only he can learn about the higher order. Gane describes learning as observable changes in people's behavior. After something is learned, you can observe it and you can measure it. Then only you can say that people has learned something. And his learning hierarchies are composed of abilities which can be observed or measured. Therefore, he has given the hierarchies in terms of observable and measurable. According to Gane, if a person has learned, then that person can carry out some activity that he or she could not do previously. Suppose you are teaching the students about dividing a polynomial, right? Dividing a polynomial using a monomial. The child should not have learnt about how to divide a polynomial using a monomial, but the child knows normal division. That is a prerequisite skill, right? And child knows what is polynomial and all, right? This is the prerequisite skill in order to learn about the dividing the polynomial with the monomial. So the main thing is child should not know before, right? Since most activities in mathematics require definable and observable prerequisite learning, mathematics topics lend themselves to hierarchical analysis because we need a prerequisite learning. So increasing order of understanding is needed in mathematics. When specifying a learning hierarchy for a mathematical skill, it is usually not necessary to consider all of subordinate skills. Constructing a learning hierarchy for mathematical topic is more than merely listing the steps in learning the rule or solving the problem. So here if you want to say what is a mathematical hierarchy, it is not only listing 1, 2, 3. So it's not only listing, okay, or solving the problem. What you have to do is preparing a list of steps in a good starting point. So it should have the starting point and increasing order like that. However, the distinguishing characteristics of a learning hierarchy is an upside down tree diagram of subordinate and superordinate abilities, which can be demonstrated by students or measured by the teacher. So you are able to write the subordinate and superordinate skills so that you are able to measure it. So we'll give an example of whatever we have learned using the quadratic formula. Suppose you are going to derive a quadratic formula, right? That is your question, right? Derive the quadratic formula. Here we are going to list the subordinate, superordinate skills and also what are the different steps, right? List the steps used to derive the quadratic formula. Okay, so what you have to do is you will divide into different steps. Okay, derive, what is our derive the quadratic formula, right? Now we'll go to the step 1. What is my step 1? Write the general form of your quadratic equation. Now you write the general form of the quadratic equation. What is the general form of quadratic equation? ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. if you tell your child, if you tell your students to write the general form of quadratic equation, that means the students know this already. Students know this already. This is called, this you can call it as a prerequisite, right? What is step 2? Okay, now add negative c on both the sides of the equation. Add So students know how to add negative c on both the sides of the equation. So this also is prerequisite. Students know how to add it. So a negative c on both the sides, right? So this also students know how to add the negative c. Now we go to the step 3. These are the subordinate skill, right, of the student who should know. They should know before. Okay, now divide both sides of the equation by a. Now the superordinate skill is if you divide by a, then a will be cancelled from. Okay, so this is the skill students should know. So we are left with only x square. Okay, that's why I am dividing by a. This thing students should know, right? This is a superordinate skill a student should know, and a is not equal to 0, right? This is also one of the conditions students should know, that because a comes the denominator, no? So in the beginning it is written that a not equal to 0. Then immediately students will ask, if a is 0, what will happen? So students should know that we have already written that a is not equal to 0, right? So this is superordinate skill students should know. And then we go to the step 4. What is step 4? Complete the square. Complete the square of x square plus b by a into x by adding. Okay, what you are going to add? It's nothing but this coefficient is there, no? You just see the coefficient. Okay, this coefficient is adding 2 to that. Okay, 2ab, right? Actually, this is what is that, a plus b the whole square. If you see a plus b the whole square will be a square plus 2ab plus b square. Okay, here this is 2ab. Somewhat this resembles a square plus 2ab. So these two terms are there. A square plus 2ab. What is missing here is the b square. What is missing here? B square, right? What is my a? A is nothing but x. So there is a here. A is there, right? A is x. That is a is there. But what is my 2a? 2a equal to b by a. 2ab, no? 2a is b by a. 2 into something. Okay, I'll take it as capital A. So what is my a? The missing term is b by 2a, right? Well, the last 2ab, I can call it as b, right? Instead of a, I can call it as b here, 2b, right? I can call it as 2b, right? 2b, therefore my b is b by 2a. What is missing here is b square. What is my b square? B square by 4a square. That is the reason I am going to add this term here. That is adding b square by 4a square to both sides. Okay, to both sides of the equation. What we get? The next step. Okay. What is my next step? Next step is nothing but x square plus b by a into x plus we are going to add both the side by b square by 4a square in order to complete the square in the left hand side. So if you want to add, you have to add both the sides. So this concept students should know. That is, we are adding the same thing on both the sides. The value of the equation does not change, right? So this is the skills students should understand before. So now factor the left side, that is, you are going to add it as a square quantity. Okay, left side of the equation. Okay, and add the terms on the right side. Take LCM and add the terms on the right side. So that will be our next step. So it will be x plus b by 2a, x plus b by 2a, the whole square, equal to, you take the LCM, here it will be b square minus 4ac by 4a square after taking the LCM. Now what is the step 6? Now we go to the step 6. What is the step 6? It is very simple. Step 6 is take the square root on both the sides of the equation. Take the square root of both sides of the, so you are dividing the whatever has to be solved into many steps. That is what Gann has told, that divide the whatever you want to do it, okay, that is divided into several steps according to whatever is needed for us, right? And then we took the square root, right? Students should know when you take the square root, we should take plus or minus. These are the subordinate skills students should know. Now the step 7 is add. Step 7 is what? Add minus b by 2a, because we want x equal to, no, because we want x equal to, we are writing minus b by a to both sides, okay, and simplify the right side. After adding, we have to simplify the right side, then we get the solution. That's all. This is the last step. Therefore x equal to, okay, we are adding minus b by a, therefore it gets cancelled. So here it will be minus b, and you take the LCM also, okay, minus b square root of b square minus 4ac, okay, and this will be 2a there, so that is also 2a, so the LCM is 2a, right? So finally we got the solution, right? So how we got the solution? It's very simple, right? What we did, simple, we did whatever we have to do, the known, from known we have gone to the unknown. We started with the known and we did all the logical things, whatever all these are logical steps is taken, and the given problem is divided into several steps. For doing the several steps, students should know all subordinate and superordinate skills in order to carry out the problem. And using the skills and dividing into various steps, finally we arrived at the answer. This is what the Gann told about the problem solving, right? Learning hierarchy, he called it as learning hierarchy, right? And you can write it in the form of the what do you call that, flowchart also. The same thing can be written in the form of flowchart also, right? So he has divided into the conditions of, if you see his conditions of learning, he has written in the 1974. So in the 1974 he has written a beautiful book, Conditions of Learning Theory. Okay, he has given the 5 categories of learning, And we have already learnt about the 5 categories, right, that we have discussed before. And then hierarchy fashion also. So learning are arranged in a hierarchy fashion where one task is depend upon the